What in the world is happening, ladies and gentlemen? We literally have the CEO murderer has officially been caught and is actually pretty crazy. Luigi Mangione. Uh, I hope I'm saying his name right. Maybe I don't really care. His name is Luigi. Luigi arrives at court for basically an arraignment for being suspected of executing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He is reportedly refusing to talk after a McDonald's worker called him into the police. He was caught in McDonald's. He was an anti-capitalist person. He was caught. So that's one of the main stories here. But it's about to get crazy because, as you can see him, here he is. I think he was 26 years old. He went to Towson University in Maryland. Wild stuff happening, right? He's caught. He was in McDonald's, anti-capitalist. But that's not the craziest part about this, because this episode of Piers Morgan has Taylor Lorenz, who is a leftist, raging leftist, one of the worst type of people. And though I could say that there's a lot of bad things happening with our healthcare system, Piers Morgan is about to be shocked at what she has to say. And I am so lost as to what's going on. Take a listen to this.
You said healthcare executive down with party balloons was on an X post that you commented on. Why would you be in such a celebratory mood about the execution of another human being? Aren't you supposed to be on the caring, sharing left, where you believe in the sanctity of life?
I do believe in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately, because it feels like...
Serious?
I mean...
What is happening? What? You felt what? Yo, I told you, man. Before we get to the inauguration, shit is about to start getting very weird. People are rooting for things that I don't think they really want. America, we have a lot of problems, but this right here might be one of our biggest problems. That's insane to say on Piers, but look at her smiling. This is insane.
Would you be in such a celebratory mood about the execution of another human being? Aren't you supposed to be on the caring, sharing left, where you believe in the sanctity of life?
I do believe in the sanctity of life, and I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately, because it feels like...
Serious?
I mean...
Joy in a man's execution?
Maybe not joy, but certainly not empathy. Because again,
we're watching the footage. How can this make you joyful? This guy's a husband, he's a father, and he's being gunned down in the middle of Manhattan. Why does that make you joyful?
Of Americans that he murdered. So are the tens of thousands of Americans, innocent Americans, who died because greedy health insurance executives like this one push policies of denying care to the most vulnerable people. And the many millions of Americans that have watched people that I care about suffer, and in some cases die, because of lack of health care.
So should they all be killed then? Should they all be killed, these healthcare executives? Would that make you even more joyful?
No, that would not.
Well, why not?
And,
why are you laughing?
I think because
Yo, bro, she's laughing like no tomorrow. I don't know how to feel, because in one sense, I agree with her point. I don't agree with killing people, because once you cross that line, you've crossed a very bad line. There's no coming back from it, in my opinion. I do agree with her on one thing, is that we have a very bad healthcare system, and we have big pharma. We got big time stuff happening in the United States of America that's really bad. But this is my problem with leftists, is that they're so sick in the head. These are the same type of people that cheered when Trump was almost assassinated in front of the world. This is the left of today. These are not people that claim that problems are existing. No. We have a big problem. Yes, I agree. We need solutions. Yes. But these are the people that will cheer on Trump being cooked right on national television. They were the ones complaining, oh, the shooter missed, and they were sad about it. These are not the same folks that are This is not populism. This is something else. This is like satanic. This is something else.
Because it wouldn't fix the
You seem to find the whole thing hilarious.
I find your question funny.
A bloke's been murdered in the street. I don't find it funny at all.
I don't find it funny that tens of thousands of Americans die every year and because they are denied life-saving healthcare from people like the CEO. Now, I want to fix the system. You're right. We shouldn't be going around shooting each other with vigilante justice. No. I think that it is a good thing that this murder has led to America, or really the media elites and politicians in this country paying attention to this issue for the first time. You mentioned you couldn't understand why.
What's crazy about this is that I heard the same, Daniel Penny was found not guilty today. And I heard the same thing about BLM. BLM was basically saying, we got to take to the streets. BLM literally today, he was saying the same thing. And I believe this is all for profit, trying to stir up like some type of race war, trying to stir up some type of, I tell you, bro, ever since like before Trump becomes president, I would not be surprised if if it's 2020 all over again, but this time even worse.
We need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
We need some black vigilantes. That's what this gentleman right here said. This gentleman right here, maybe you guys are familiar with him. I forgot his name, but every time something bad happens, he's just there.
Somebody would feel this reaction when they watch a CEO die, it's because you have not dealt, it sounds like, with the American healthcare system in the way that millions of other Americans have.
I've dealt with the healthcare system in various ways in America. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but the idea that I would view it as something...
Have you been denied life?
Hang on. The idea that I would view it as something joyful that a man who's just a healthcare executive has been executed in the street.
Thank you guys for becoming members. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. What do you guys think? What do you guys feel? By the way, how do you guys feel about this? Do you guys even care about that guy? Do you guys feel bad? Do you think that she's right? Do you think she's wrong? What do you think about this?
I find completely bizarre. Let me bring in Tommy here. Yeah. Tommy, I keep being told. Hang on, Taylor. I'll come back to you.
Okay, don't say I'm joyful. I said
you said you were feeling joyful.
Yeah, I take that back. Joyful is the wrong word, Piers.
You think?
I said, as I clarified, yeah.
You think joyful is the wrong word? Yeah,
sure.
I'd say it is.
Vindicated, celebratory, because again, it feels like justice in this system when somebody responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of Americans suffers the same fate as those tens of thousands of Americans who he murdered or.
Tommy, whether Taylor wants to retract the word joyful or not, we all heard her say it, and I was just shocked. I mean, I find that kind of response utterly shocking, that someone could be murdered in the middle of Manhattan, who happens to be an executive for a healthcare company, and people think...
Look at her, she's still smiling.
This is something that makes them feel...
She's crazy.
Feel joyful.
Yeah, this is still the remnants of the incredibly bratty Occupy Wall Street movement that's morphed into 100 other movements by now, all equally as disgusting. But to celebrate the murder of a husband and a father simply because you disagree with his position at a company, or you disagree with the company, or you disagree with the system of healthcare that we have in the US is quite frankly sick, twisted, and disgusting. Why you'd celebrate anybody's murder, especially just an innocent man who you happen to disagree with, is really shocking to me. But it also just goes to show that the left and many on the left have a tendency to believe that violence like this, political violence, is necessary. It's a means to an end. And if they believe in the end and they believe in the means, it's really sick and wrong. If you want to have a conversation about healthcare in this country, that's fine. Let's have that all day long. But to be joyful, or even to say you're not empathetic about somebody losing their life when they leave behind two young boys, especially during the holiday season, the same day that millions of New Yorkers are celebrating a tree lighting, I mean, that's just too far for me, a bridge too far. The loving and tolerant left is at it again, Piers.
Yeah, Taylor, I don't mean to be rude, but why the
I can't lie, she was cooking right there. I'm only saying she was cooking right there for the main reason that we are told that the violence really does come from MAGA. You guys in the chat, a lot of you guys that voted for Donald Trump, a lot of the media expects this behavior from you. You guys are the ones. But I've noticed that leftists are like, they're leaping, man. Like hardcore progressives, they're leaping. Like they're at a no holds bar. They're on some like, fuck it. We lost the election. We're about to lose the election. Like we're just gonna like we're just going to start shooting people. I think that that's insane. Why? Well, most of them, and this is an argument that I'm going to make, I think a lot of them really don't, they feel they have nothing to lose. They have no families. They have no children. A lot of them are in their 30s, 20s. They don't care about, they just, I don't know how to explain it, man. Somebody help me explain what I'm trying to say here. But let's hear the response to this.
Fuck are you laughing all the time? I don't get it. Sorry, apologies for my.
Oh, damn. Piers Morgan.
Too far. The loving and tolerant left is at it again, Piers.
Yeah, Taylor, I don't mean to be rude, but why the fuck are you laughing all the time? I don't get it. Sorry, apologies for my language, but honestly, I find it unbelievable. What are you laughing at?
Piers, I am laughing at Tommy's insane mischaracterization of why people are angry. It has nothing to do with Occupy Wall Street. This is a feeling that people feel across the left and the right. You mentioned Ben Shapiro earlier in his video about the healthcare exec. I encourage people to check the comment section on that video, okay? 100% of Americans.
It's not wrong. We really don't like the system. We are populist for a reason. A lot of people voted for Trump because of that. We're populist. We hate the system. That doesn't mean go out there and just start popping heads left and right. That doesn't mean that this is the way we're going to do shit. Like, can we let Trump's administration and Doge actually play out? Can we let the system play out under a new administration? Like, yeah, sure. Like, these people are sick. These healthcare CEOs, yeah, for sure. I agree. But we're gonna start popping them in the middle of the streets and say we're joyful about that. Yeah, I don't know that. Like, I'm excited about this new administration. I want to see this new administration. You guys are over here just saying, fuck it. I'm over here saying, well, wait a minute. I'm not trying to lose America just yet. You know what happens after this, right? You know what happens when you take this road, start executing every CEO, just start saying, fuck the system to the point where it's just violence. You know what happens after that, right? We can't come back from that. It's over. You know what would have happened if Trump would have like literally died? If that bullet would have actually hit his brain, if on stage, you know what would have happened to America? We would have lost the American experiment would have been gone. Now, I'm not saying the American experiment is perfect, but man, these people I promise you, they don't care anymore.
America is united on this, or rather the majority of America is united on this. We do not think that this healthcare system that is murdering, again, thousands of innocent Americans who, by the way, Tommy, also have families, also have children. These people are being killed by our barbaric and evil for-profit healthcare system. And I agree, we should not necessarily go around shooting people in the street. And while I am joyful that this issue has been brought to attention,
did you hear that, Piers? Not necessarily.
It's just unbelievable.
They shouldn't be shot in the streets. They shouldn't be shot in the streets because, again, it doesn't solve the systemic problem. You could United Healthcare will just appoint a new ghoulish CEO. The point is that we need to fix these systems so that, again, people like Brian or whoever is in charge of these companies stops murdering tens of thousands of innocent Americans. That is the crime.
Let me bring in Mark on this. I mean, Mark, I'm sorry, but there's just no justification for being.
You know what's crazy about this, guys? What's crazy about this is there's literally two sides to this. What's crazy about this, that's why I say that's why my question on this video is what the fuck is happening to America? Like, I really do mean that. Ben Shapiro made a video, and I've never seen people, like, I've seen people turn on Ben Shapiro before, but if you read the comments under his video, somebody said my brother-in-law died because they were never approved for the correct treatment. This is not a right or left thing. Starting to realize that your entire career is built off getting ordinary working folks to hate each other. Signing off, wow. A lot of people on the right are like finding disgust with Ben Shapiro. Somebody in the comments said, Ben, you're a millionaire. You aren't true blue collar conservative. You're a rich guy that tries to appeal to the working class Republicans. You don't understand what poor people go through. Man, I'm telling you, what is happening to America, bro? What is happening to America? where Ben Shapiro is getting a lot of hate for protecting the CEO by conservatives that say that he is out of touch with reality. Ben Shapiro. Let's see what did he say that made people mad? That even Christian conservatives are like, nah, Ben Shapiro, you missed on this one. What is he saying that's making people extremely mad? Let me see. Man, look at the dislikes on this, man. Look at this, 25,000 dislikes on the video. Holy moly. Well, his own audience is turned against him. Have you guys turned against him? This is very interesting stuff. I'm so confused as to what the dilemma really is between right and left here. Correlation. All right. Nope, you guys can't hear that. Yeah, but Luigi is a clown. Yeah, he was a leftist that hated Jordan Peterson as well. I saw that.
The assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. And here's more about this guy via the New York Post. The person of interest identified in the killing is an anti-capitalist former Ivy League student who liked online quotes from Unabomber Ted Kaczynski raging against the country's medical community. We're shocked. Tech whiz, his name here, Luigi Mangione, 26 of Towson, Maryland, was taken into custody Monday morning at McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania after an intense manhunt following the execution. He has not been charged. The former prep school valedictorian was caught with a manifesto that appeared to list grievances with the healthcare industry, including taking on their enormous profits and allegedly shady motives, according to sources. Again, still here quoting from the New York Post. Mangione has...
Somebody say he was a bored rich kid. A bored... Yeah, he gives me that you know those kids, that the Free Palestine kids that are like usually those white little kids, rich kids that usually go to Union Square and they just start saying that all the NYPD is the KKK, the NYPD. And meanwhile, most of the NYPD, most of the police officers that they're yelling at usually look like me, because the police in New York City have changed. They look Dominican. A lot of them are from New York. They look like they're not white. So it's crazy that a lot of these white kids, they just come out of nowhere and they just start yelling. So he does give me that vibe of like some Soho downtown kid, you know, with both parents, and just decided that he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna like murder somebody just to feel better about myself. I'm kind of bored.
Subscribed to anti-capitalist and climate change causes, in addition to showing he despises the healthcare industry in this country, according to law enforcement, who cite online activity gleaned by the authorities. On the Goodreads website, Mangione's account shows quotes he particularly likes, ranging from Socrates to Bruce Lee to wacky anti-establishment Ted Kaczynski, the infamous Unabomber who terrorized the country for nearly 2 decades by planting deadly bombs before he was nabbed in 1996. Mangione was valedictorian of the 2016 high school graduating class at the Gilman School in Baltimore, where he played soccer. According to online sites, high school tuition at the all-boys school is nearly $40,000 a year. He said at the time of graduation, he planned to seek a degree in artificial intelligence, focused on the areas of computer science and cognitive science.
See, like us broke people, we're not really... like, thank God I'm not broke, but being from the Bronx, a lot of broke people. Well, I guess I'm not a millionaire, so let's just put it like that. A lot of people are millionaires. This kid seems to be coming from a background where they get money over there. They get very to that point where they just start behaving this way, where they're just like, I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. I'm just gonna murk somebody. I'm gonna try to make a, like the kid that tried to murk Trump. Like, I feel the same way about him. What was so anti-establishment about killing Trump? I don't know. Like, Trump is literally a populist. Right wing, I guess he didn't agree with his right wing populism.
At UPenn, again, that's an Ivy League school, according to an interview with the Baltimore
He's an Ivy League kid.
Fishbowl. And there are some pictures now circulating of him online, of the Luigi Mangione person who looks identical to the person that we saw identical to the person we saw in those pictures. And indeed, the reports are that when they captured this person in the McDonald's, who they do say is Luigi Mangione, he had a manifesto on him explaining why he shot Brian Thompson. So it appears they have their man. Sometimes these things go haywire and we have to take that back. So I'll put an asterisk on it for the audience, but I'll start with you on a link.
So caught at McDonald's. Let's see what Amala has to say about this.
And if you've been through it or you have a family member who's been in peril when it comes to their health, I'm sure we all have grievances, but to take out your grievances in this way and to assassinate somebody just on the street is such an interesting way to go about things. And we're seeing this man be celebrated, and I can only imagine he's going to be a hero of sorts to certain groups of people. But I can't stress enough, this is not the way to go about your grievances. And interestingly, with his intelligence and his education, and what the NYPD described as a highly complex assassination attempt, you get caught in a McDonald's. My goodness. I mean, he went through creating a ghost gun. He had multiple fake ideas. When the NYPD went over the security footage to see where this guy tracked, apparently he had everything planned on how to get out of the city and how to get to Pennsylvania. And then you get caught by an elderly citizen in a McDonald's. It's just tragic.
It's really crazy. I'm looking.
That's crazy. So he got caught in a McDonald's. He was an anti-capitalist eating at McDonald's. That's I would say that's the part that really bothers me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. That part really does bother me. He had a fake ID. He had everything. I mean, this guy he had all the plans to get away. But yeah, guys, look. All I'm going to say is a lot of stuff is happening to America right now. America's going through a very, very weird time. Don't know what the next few months are going to look like. It really doesn't make sense. Snowflakes. I do agree with you. I really don't. This is pretty crazy. But I will say this: Jay-Z, civil lawsuit, Diddy, Trump inauguration, Trump overseas, NATO, Joe Biden, Kamala. There's so much. I'm missing probably a lot, but there's so much happening right now. It's actually crazy. I haven't even thought of that. I know. I mean, eating at McDonald's, bro, and then you get snitched on. Somebody, yeah. So once again, I'm gonna put it out there for you guys. What do you guys think about all of this? He's being celebrated by anti-establishment folks who really hate the system. Is this something to be celebratory about? Is this something that you just say, nah, this is too far. This is where you don't want to go. I say this is not where we want to go. Trust me, not where we want to go. This is the destabilization of America will happen with something like this. I would predict, because I see it kind of already happening. I see the key pieces, but I also see people like, Ben Shapiro start to get out of touch with his fan base, his core base, which is blue collar, hardworking American patriots who love Ben Shapiro. There's a lot of them. And they're saying, whoa, Ben, I don't agree with the guy who killed him, but I also don't agree with you because you can't relate to what's really going on in America. Here you are defending the system. We don't want you to defend the system. We get that what the guy did was terrible, but don't defend the system. That's why I say, whoa, what is happening to America? Right? And we have the Daniel Penny stuff. We literally have Black Lives Matter screaming for black vigilante, right? We literally have calls for these types of things where people are in their own world in reality. Did he defend the system, though? According to his fans, according to his people, according to a lot of people on the X, first of all, Ben Shapiro has already been falling apart with his audience due to Israel and his stances on Christians. I'm just going to put it right there. I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm just saying we're seeing a lot of pushback on both sides. We're seeing leftists clash against leftists, right-wing clashing against right-wing populism, left-wing populism. Where do they meet in the middle? They could meet in the middle at some point on this topic just because we do have a broken system. That I will agree about. All right. Jennifer Delgado, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a subscriber, a YouTube member. Appreciate you. BLM money grab. I definitely agree with that. That's a money grab. There's no disagreeing with you on that. All right, guys. So let me know how you guys feel down in the comments. If you haven't smashed the like button, please take your time right now. Smash that like button. I will be back with a bigger and better story in a bit. See you guys on the next one.